It's very quiet. Oh, so how is everyone feeling today? Oh, I can't quite see Cricket. I don't want you to hide back there. Uh, he bothers us all, don't worry. You've got enough room, you can move your arms around. Yes, we are almost there. So let's just knock our bottles over. Let's sit up tall. Have a little scoot on your chair. Make sure your sits bones are nice and pushing down into the chair. Legs are trying to be parallel or not, and lengthen up through the rib cage. Let's bring one hand to the top of the head and push up into that hand. A little bit more, get taller and taller. Now try and stay tall as you bring the arm down. And you can let that upper back rest against the chair. Draw the elbows back. Let's have the chin drop a little. Let's bring the hands to the belly. And we'll take a few rounds of breath, just getting settled in, slowing down. And we're going to try to just focus on what we're doing here today for the next 50 something minutes and not worry about what's happening outside. So making sure your shoulders are relaxed. And begin to notice your breathing. So keep the belly soft, and you might feel it moving out as you breathe in and relaxing as you breathe out. Maybe bring one hand to the chest and see if you can feel that chest moving a little bit. And we'll bring the hands back down to the thighs, let the arms be heavy, and you keep your eyes closed here. As you slowly lift the chin, lengthen through the throat. So think of the chin trying to reach up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, not all the way up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, lower the chin, let the back of that neck lengthen. Let's do that a couple of times, lifting up as you breathe in, keeping the shoulders nice and soft and relaxed. And exhale, lower the chin, back of the neck lengthens. One more like that. And lower down. Let's come back to the center and we'll slowly turn the head towards the right shoulder. We're going to come halfway back and then turn it to the right again. So we'll do that a couple of times. So not fast, but we're just not coming all the way back to the center. We're just a little, almost like a pulse, but nice and slowly. And each time you turn that head, you might be able to turn it a little bit further, or at least notice that stretch. Let's do one more. And then come through the center and turn towards the left. And we'll do the same thing here. Come back about halfway to the center and then turn. Little turns. And then come all the way back to the center. Let's make some circles here. So dropping the chin around to one side, up and around. Let's do 3 circles in that direction. Think of it more that you're drawing a circle with your nose in front of you, because I don't want you to tip your neck back too far. And when you've done 3 circles, you will switch directions. And come back through the center. We'll just sit with that neutral spine. So lifting the chin, drawing the chin back just a little bit, as though you're sitting against a wall and you want the back of your head to get to the wall as well. So maybe just a couple of millimeters, doesn't have to be big. And then we'll begin to move the shoulders. Let's lift them up towards the ears first, and then let them relax down, and then really relax and get that extra half an inch there. Lift up towards the ears, then lower and lower. 2 more times like that. So we bring them down, and there's still a little bit of tension, and just let them go. And once more, up and relax, and then really relax those shoulders. Let's make some circles. So option here is to keep the hands down or to bring the hands to the shoulders. So whatever you prefer. You can bring up and around or just make circles with the shoulders. And I want you to focus on the shoulder blades here. As your shoulders come back, those shoulder blades should be trying to squeeze towards each other. And when you're coming forward, the shoulder blades are spreading across the back, coming apart. Let's do one more in this direction. And then we'll switch and go the opposite way. And let the arms hang down nice and heavy. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, imagine your fingertips are holding some weights and they're getting further away from your shoulders. Do that again, breathing in. Exhale, let the arms be heavy as though they're hanging, getting longer and longer, and once more. And let's move our hands. So we'll bring the hands up, make easy fists, and circle at the wrists. And then let's switch directions. And then stretch the fingers out wide and curl them in. Stretch them out wide and curl them in. Once more like that, stretching them as wide as they'll go. And then slowly curling them back to that fist. Then we'll add to it. We'll do our stretch, and our claw, and beak, and fist. Stretch, and claw, and beak, and fist. Claw, and stretch, and fist, and claw, beak, claw, fist, stretch, beak, claw, stretch. Now, if you haven't already got your eyes closed, let's try it with the closed eyes. Fist, close your eyes. Beak, stretch, claw, fist, beak, claw, beak, stretch, fist, claw, fist, stretch, beak, claw, stretch, stretch, claw, fist, beak, stretch, beak, claw, fist. And then relax the hands again. So because your eyes were closed, you didn't see the one where I made a fist but said claw. So that's good for everyone, right? So let's stretch our hands out. My wrists are very tight this week. I don't know what I've been doing. What is happening to us? So let's start with that right hand. So maybe just give it a little shake, see how it feels. You know, every week, every day is a little mystery, isn't it? Yes. So take the fingers to the pinky finger and just let it stretch. So really focus here on where you feel it. Cross the hand and up into the arm. And then as you move to the next finger, you'll feel that across the palm in a different place. Oh, I actually feel it in my arm in a different place too. And let's try the middle finger. Index finger. Yeah, my arms have been very tender. I don't know what I've done. And then the thumb, a little tendonitis maybe. And then let's give a little bit of attention to those knuckles. This is very like, yes, the soft sounds of chair yoga. Ooh. So anything that feels particularly tender, give a little bit of extra. Oh, that's a good idea, putting cream on them. Ooh. Adding a whole new dimension there. That's a good idea. Well, you can massage all our hands later. Thank you. And then we'll try the other hand. So you might know if that was your dominant hand, this one might feel different, starting with that pinky finger. And then moving across to the ring finger. And then the middle finger. So are they just very old socks or are they making a comeback?
They were a pair of socks that I found in my drawer that still had the
Ah,
tag on. You know,
the index finger. So they might be old, you just never worn
yeah, I
them.
think they were gifted to me from somewhere.
I've never seen that before. And the thumb. Yeah.
It's the old Kool-Aid guy.
And then let's give a little bit of attention to those sore knuckles.
Remember, we weren't allowed to have it because my dad said anything that couldn't be mixed in a tin pitcher didn't belong in your stomach. So we weren't allowed to have Kool-Aid growing up.
So since my wrists and elbows are sore, I'm going to assume everyone is, and you're going to do this for me. So we're going to start with one arm. So if you feel between the bones there's a muscle or a tendon coming down that can feel very tender sometimes. So just, you can either rub it up and down, or you could take your thumb and gently rub it, or sometimes I like to just take those fingers. So if it doesn't feel sore and you don't need to do that, you just get a nice little massage. But if it's a little tender, get it moving a little bit, then you can do mine. Yeah, so maybe doing it that way would feel good too. And then we'll try the other arm. I mean, most of us, you could pick any random part of your body, and if you poke it a little bit, you'll find something that feels a bit sore and tender, right? So this is mine today. You can choose one next, yeah, yes, or find something that doesn't feel like the pads of your feet or the toes. Maybe they don't hurt. They hurt too. Just working your way down that arm. And again, if you don't have aches and pains there, then it's just nice to give it a little rub and get the blood moving a little bit. Yeah, cream would be really good on those arms. Ice would be good. Lots of things would be good. So let's give those arms. Let's move at the elbows. So you're making big circles at the elbows. Let's check in with our posture here. We've got a few people lounging down watching, I don't know, White Lotus or something. And let's still try and keep a nice long spine. And then you can move these kind of randomly, moving at the shoulders as well. Getting our windsock, yes. Our no.
Car dealership, I think it's VW, and the intern said,
Perfect. They must have been watching our class. And then we'll come back to the center. Let's stretch out those arms a little bit. So we'll start with the right hand. We're going to turn the palm down, but first we're going to take the opposite thumb right into the wrist. So you can gently squeeze those fingers down. But as we're doing that, keep the shoulders relaxed. Just a gentle squeeze of the wrist, decompressing it there. And keep breathing. It's always a good option. And then we'll turn the palm upwards and stretch it back again. Shoulders are down. And keep breathing. If it hurts, don't do it. And keep smiling. And then relax that. Move it around a little bit. And we'll try the left arm. So thumb inside the wrist, just for some support there. You could just push it back, but I think it's nice to have that little bit of support. Squeezing it. You don't know what you're doing. And then we'll turn it the other way up, stretching those fingers back. Tight. So maybe do that again later as well, just gently to try and keep it moving. And then release that, give it a little bit of movement. Everyone's got a few little... I'm not the only one with achy arms today, I think. So let's sit up nice and tall. Oh, let's do our feet. Yes. Let's come onto the balls of the toes. Sorry. And then lower and pull the toes back towards the shins. So we'll do that a few times, lifting up and down. Lift up, let's stay there. Push down into those balls. Feel those calves working a little bit. And then lower, pull them back. Pull them back as far as you can. Let's do that once more, lifting the heels. And then lifting the toes back. And then we'll lower them and we'll switch. So we'll do one heel, one toe, just for you. And switch. And switch. So you have Reese's. And switch. And switch. And then let's do our little run. Tapping in the middle and out to the side. We'll be practicing for football season soon, won't we? Oh, not yet. And a little bit faster and faster and faster. Make some noise. And then relax. There, heart rate going a little bit. Good. Let's lengthen our legs out one at a time. Get those little clicks out. Especially if you've been sitting down a lot today. And then when they're feeling a little bit loosened up, you can begin to really think of pushing through that heel, pulling those toes back. Lift and push. A couple more. And next time your right leg's up, we'll keep it there. And we'll point and flex. That was me. Point and flex. And then keep the leg still. Make those circles at the ankle. And we'll switch directions. And so since Kathleen's wearing her vintage socks, let's write Kool-Aid. That's with a K, isn't it? With the big toe. Kool-Aid. And then bring it down, give it a little shake. And then we'll do the other leg. Point and flex. And make some circles at the ankle. And switch directions. And then this time we're going to write turtles for Brian. Turtle. Or just keep your foot on the floor if that doesn't feel good. And then bring it down and give it a little shake around. So have a sip of water if you haven't already. How's everyone doing? Well, so since you gave me this bottle, I think I'm drinking so much more water. I don't know why, because I always have a water bottle, but I don't know if it's because it's a straw, so you suck more down, but I'm just sucking it down. It's a really big bottle. Yeah, normally I take a little, I've always had a water bottle, but for some reason, I'm going through it during the day. What have you done to me? I know, it's scary, isn't it? So let's sit up nice and tall. Let's start with the right arm reaching up and take a side bend. Come up through the center. We'll come over to the other side. Come up through the center, come over to the right. We're going to bring that arm down and sweep around. So you're just sweeping on the floor until you come all the way over to the other side. Come up to the center. Let's interlace the fingers and reach the palms towards the ceiling. As you exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, lift and reach. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing out as you fold, breathing in as you lift the chin and chest. Keep reaching through those hands, and we'll separate the fingers, and let's take a twist to the left. Just remember that we did the left, because I might not remember. Looking towards that left shoulder, keeping that right hand on the thigh. We'll release the left arm, come up and over into a little side bend. So you're still in a little bit of a twist, but you're reaching, peeking underneath that arm. And bring that hand down to the knee and take that forward fold. Slowly come up through the center, reach the arms tall, bring them down and around a couple of times. Up and around, and then let them rest and take a breath or two. This time we'll start with that left arm coming up and over to the side. Come up through the center and over to the left. Once more, coming up over to the right. Keep reaching. Let that arm come down to the outside. Sweep it around like you're brushing the floor and all the way up and over. We'll come up through the center, interlace the fingers, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly lift. 2 more whole rounds like that, folding. And then lifting. Once more. And reach and lift. Release the hands and take a twist to the other side, the right. Looking towards that right shoulder. Just reach the right arm long and come up into a little bit of a side bend, peeking underneath that arm. Bring that through the center, cross the arms and take a forward fold. Slowly lengthen. Reach the arms up and make a couple of big circles. And relax everything. Take a breath. Recover. Scoot forward a tiny bit on your chair. So we're going to do some core work because it's everyone's favorite. Let's start with I Dream of Jeannie arms. So the spine is staying long here, so we're not doing a cat-cow. We've got a nice long spine. Find those sits bones. It's like you're balanced on top of those sits bones. You can actually squeeze your butt cheeks a little bit, so you sort of lift it up. So you're nice and tall. Then hinge back, so lean back, maybe an inch or two. Then use these muscles to pull everything in towards the center. Inhale as you lean back. Exhale, pulling the belly button in, squeezing everything in towards the center. So the ribs are trying to close in together. The hip points are squeezing towards each other. Can you feel that work in those abdominals? Doesn't have to be a big movement. You can keep it nice and gentle. Let's do one more. Good. Nice. Let's lower everything down. Relax the arms. Let's bring the feet about as wide as the chair, maybe a little bit wider. We're going to let them rock the knees rock side to side. So if we do that, we're going to take the arms and cross the right arm over the left. Now, as the knees come to your right, you're going to turn the ribcage a little bit the opposite way. Come through the center, knees go to the left, you're taking a tiny, you can't turn very far the opposite way, so it's a little bit of a twist. It might be easier if your feet are a little bit closer together, actually. And we're going to open the arms wide, cross the opposite arm on top, and we'll try that again. So knees go to one side, ribs turn to the other. Just a tiny twist of that upper back. And then bring everything back to the center. Let's take a child's pose. So bring the hands to the knees or the forearms to the thighs. Take a couple of moments to breathe. Okay, that's 2 moments. Let's sit up nice and tall. So remember last week when we had the blocks and we stepped over the block and we noticed how much hard work that was. So we're going to do that again. We're just going to imagine, because it was hard, we should do it again. Imagine there's a block there. So there's some choices here, right? You can step over the Lego, as I call it. So you can lift just barely off the floor. Or you could step over a teacup maybe, or a little water bottle. Or you can imagine that block's there and you're lifting up and open and up and open. Just trying to keep the spine nice and long here. We're trying to get those hip flexors to start kicking in a little bit. Good. So I'm feeling it more out here today. Yeah, that's good. Oh, let's do, that's the last one. Okay, just move that around a little bit. So imagine you're out walking and you need to step over a rock or something, right? We need that strength to do that. So we're going to try the other leg. So again, you can take a really small, just sweeping the floor, lifting over something really small, or you can lift it a little bit higher. Oh, and you might notice one leg cooperates better than the other. So we're trying to keep the body still, right? It's hard to do that, but so we're not kind of, using our body to do the work. We're trying to isolate this. Just keep breathing and smiling as we're doing it. Yes, that's how I feel. Let's do 2 more. And then bring everything back to the center. Goodness, let's move that out and in a little bit. So it's probably something that we should do a little bit more often. I'm going to try one more thing. So we've just been using our hip flexors, right, which pull the leg in, flex the hips. We're going to try and use our glutes. I know some of you have trouble with this. So just sit there for a moment and try to squeeze one cheek. Just squeeze it and then release it. And do that a couple of times. Squeeze it, same cheek. Squeeze and release. And then try the other one. Can you do both together? Yes. And then squeeze both and then release. Now I want you to try and think about using that glute muscle and the back of your leg to lift that leg. You're still going to use these muscles, but try to use that back muscle a little bit to lift. Squeeze and lift. So you're not going to lift it very high because we don't want to have the hip flexors taking over. Squeeze and lift, almost as though it's pushing your leg off the chair. Can you feel that little bit of work? I think that face says it all. Let's do 1 more on each side. Good. Whew. Take a little breath. You're welcome. Let's turn to the side. I'm going to hold onto the chair with that right arm. Chest is facing the side. Let that knee drop down just a little bit. So keep the chest facing forward and lift that left arm towards the ceiling. Really reach through the arm. You're going to open that arm to behind you and turn your chest and open it. Bring the arm all the way down, making a big circle. So your chest is turning as you're lifting it towards the ceiling, and then turn to open to the side. Bring everything back to the center, reach it towards the ceiling. Pause there. And then we're going to reverse that circle, bring it down in front, sweep it out and behind, and then lift it up. Bring it down, sweep it around and lift it up. Stay there. And then bring that hand down to the chair. Don't pull with the hand, it's just resting there, but turn your rib cage towards the chair. So a tiny twist there. So I want you to feel this coming from the back of that right shoulder blade, doing the work, pulling you around. And we'll release everything back to the center. Bring that leg in, and we'll let it open out to the side. Ooh. Coming into our triangle. So that right foot is flat on the floor, toes are pointing to the ceiling, and hinge towards that lengthened leg. And maybe try different head positions here. You can look towards the leg, you can look towards the front. I don't like to look up, but some people like to do that. Keep pulling the toes back towards the shins. And bring everything slowly up, bring that leg in. Let's move it around a little bit. And then we'll slowly come through the center and around to the other side. See if we can remember what we did here. So we're holding onto the back of the chair with the left hand, left foot's flat on the floor in front, right knee drops down, and we'll start by lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling. So everything is facing to that side to start. Then we're going to bring the arm behind as you open the chest, bring it all the way down and up and around. So we're moving the arm and we're moving the body. So open out to the side. And then bring it up to the center. Pause there. And we'll reverse that circle, bring the arm down in front, sweeping it behind. And up. Lower it down. Sweep it behind. Reach it up. Stay there. Lower that hand to the chair, but don't use that hand. Pull with that left shoulder blade to take a little twist to the chair. Keep breathing. Let's come back to the center. We'll bring this leg in, let it open out to the side for your triangle. So heels on the floor, toes reach back, hinging towards that leg. Holding onto the chair with the left hand. And let's bring everything back up. Bring that leg in, give it a little shake. Bring everything back to the center. Let's do a little bit of brain work. Not too much, don't worry. Just a little bit for our little brains. So let's do our picking the fruit. We haven't done that for a while. So to remind you, we're going to reach and pick, bring it out to the side and drop it. Switch hands. Reach and pick, out to the side and drop. We'll reach and pick, we'll bring it out to the front, we'll give it away so the palm is up. Opposite arm, reach and pick, out to the front and give it away. Let's do both arms. Reach and pick, out to the side and drop. Bring it in. Reach and pick, out to the front and give it away. Do that again. Reach and pick, out to the side and drop. Bring it in. Reach and pick, out to the front and give it away. So now we're going to do both at the same time, theoretically. Reach and pick, right hand out to the side, left hand in front. Giving it away. Bring it in. Switch. Reach and pick. Kind of. Reach and pick. And switch. Reach and pick. One hand's out in front, giving it away. The other one is dropping it. Front and side. Front. And bring it in. We're going to do that again for you. Reach and pick. Reach and pick. That's pretty good. Just a little pat on the back. Not too bad. Not too much brain work, right? A little bit. Not quite this much brain work, but enough. Yes. Do what you get an opportunity about here to kind of decide which hand's going where. So.
And graduate, you go to graduate school and it's like reach and pick and give it away.
Yeah, well, we'll save that for next week, shall we? Let's stretch out our legs a little more. Let's bring that right leg in front. Left foot's flat on the floor. Let's bring the hands to the left thigh. Get that long spine again. Get the posture nice and long, and then hinge forward. You can pause when you feel a stretch. Take a few breaths. You can keep leaning forward. Since we did a little bit of core work, let's add to that. So instead of pushing into your thigh, let's release the hands, take a breath in, and then use that exhale to pull you back up. Bring the leg in, give it a little shake. Let's try the left one. Left leg out, heels on the floor, toes reach back. Make sure that right foot is flat on the floor, giving you some support, and then hinge forward. Pulling those toes back as far as you can. Let's do the same thing here. So release the hands, take a breath in, exhale, pull everything in to pull you up, and then bring that leg in, give it a shake. Before we do our pigeon, let's do a little bit of an arm stretch. So just bring your feet wide, wherever feels comfortable for you. So that'll be different for all of us. Toes are in line with the knee, so that second toe, so we're not bringing the knees in. Let's take that right arm, sweep it across and catch it and hug it in. Cool. Let's look over that right shoulder. Let's lift the right heel and lower it, and lift the left heel and lower it, right heel and lower, left heel and lower. Bring the head back to the center, release that arm, give it a little bit of movement, and then sweep the left arm across and catch it and look over the left shoulder. This time let's lift the left toes and lower, right toes and lower, left toes and lower, right toes and lower. And let's release, bring the head back to the center. I think last week we did that a second time and we quite liked it. So let's do it a second time. Sweeping the right arm across, like, oh, where's that shoulder been my whole life? Look over to the right. I won't make you do anything with your legs here, but just enjoy the stretch. And bring the head back to the center. Doesn't that feel like a different shoulder the second time around? It's amazing, isn't it? And then sweep the left arm across, hug it in, looking over the left shoulder. I think Brian's disappointed that we didn't do patty cake today. It's his favourite thing. And then bring it back to the centre, move that arm around. I'm just going to have a sip of water, bring the legs back to parallel. Let's get set up for our seated pigeon. So for those at home, you could put your foot on the floor or on a block or a book or a stool. Ooh, you can bring it all the way up and over. So make sure that bottom leg is nice, firmly planted on the floor. Right toes are flexed, and we're equally on those sits bones again. So you can stay here, or maybe hinge half an inch. Drop your chin a tiny bit, Kathleen. You tend to do that a little bit, so think of lengthening the back of the neck. Probably because you're always looking up at people.
I know.
I mean, I think it's true for short people. I think we do this a lot. Yeah. You've got to learn to look down your nose at people.
I rarely do.
So really let yourself relax here. This outer hip muscle takes a long time to release, so we're just going to hang out here for a few breaths. Gently breathing. And after a while, it might relax and you can fold forward a little more. Slowly lengthen. So you can cross that leg on top of the other one if that feels okay. If it doesn't feel okay, you could just cross at the ankles. Take that left hand, push it down into the thigh. Take the right arm, take a big sweep all the way around, coming into that twist, letting that arm relax down to the hip or over the chair, looking towards that right shoulder. And then slowly release that, turning the head, bring everything for a little counter twist the other way. Come back to the center, unwind that leg, move that leg around a little bit. And we'll try the other side, either starting on the floor, on something lower down, or bring it across the thigh. Getting situated first, getting everything nice and organized in your body, and then maybe hinge forward a little bit. And after a few breaths, maybe a little bit more. Breathing slowly. And slowly lengthen the spine. Bring that leg come across the bottom leg, either at the ankle or at the knee. Bring that right hand down. Sweeping the left arm open, coming into a twist towards the left. Let's begin to unwind. Take a little twist the other way. Come back to the center, unwind the legs, move that around a little bit. Come back to the center, we'll do 2 sun salutations just to get our bodies all kind of back to two-sided. Inhale and lift the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. Take it nice and slow. We're coming up halfway, lengthening the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and reach the arms up. Exhale, lower down, sitting up nice and tall in your mountain pose. Let's take an extra breath here, breathing in and out. Wait for it. Inhale to lift. Exhale and fold. Lifting halfway and fold. As you inhale, lift and reach the arms all the way up. Let's bring the hands together. Lower them down. Let's take our little wrist stretch. Pointing forward and then down. Ooh. Keep the shoulders relaxed. So it's turning the wrists, turning the fingers towards you if you can. A couple of times, just moving things around. Let's make some circles at the wrists as we find a comfortable way to sit. Moving at the elbows. Moving the shoulders. Sitting up tall, let's move the head back to those circles again. So the nose is drawing a circle. Let's say it's drawing a circle about the height of the room. Like a huge clock. When you've done a few in that direction, we'll switch and move the opposite way. And before we come into Shavasana, just pause for a moment, close your eyes and just sense how your body is feeling. If there's anything that feels a little tense or uncomfortable, maybe there's a little movement or extra stretch you can do to ease that. And then when you're ready, we'll sit back. Still keeping the spine long, but relaxing against the back of the chair. Bring the elbows back, dropping the chin. Close the eyes. And focus on different parts of the body. And as we get to that part, release and relax. So starting with the top of the head. And the forehead. The temples. The cheekbones. And the jaw. Relax the tongue and the throat. Feel the length of the back of your neck. Down between your shoulder blades. And feel the movement of your shoulder blades with your breath. Letting the shoulders be heavy. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Keeping your belly soft. Feel your belly move with each breath. Notice your mid-back touching the chair. Down to your lower back and your hips. Feel the weight of your arms through the upper arms, softening the elbows, the forearms and the wrists, and feel your hands be heavy on your thighs. Feel the chair at the back of your legs. Let your thighs relax, your knees, your calf muscles, your ankles. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor. Just focusing on one breath at a time, getting heavier with each exhale. Each time you breathe out, relaxing a little bit more. And begin to lengthen your breathing, making the inhale and the exhale a little longer. Make some small movements with your fingers and your toes. Moving the wrists and the ankles, slowly waking up the body. Maybe lengthening the legs, reaching the arms overhead, whatever feels good at this point. And when you're ready, we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Just focus on a couple of breaths. Thank you all for sharing your time with us. We're always grateful for this beautiful space and to have these lovely people here. And we'll see you next week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you at home.